Hey guys, Sarah Gaston here. Listen, recently a student asked me the following question, and I thought it would be great to share with you guys as a topic for a video. And that is, how much do you need to do when you are auditioning? So the example that he gave is he was auditioning for something and he was making a tape of the audition, and it was asking him to do all these things like show him picking out clothes in the morning, show him getting dressed, all this kind of stuff. And I had to do something like that recently. I was supposed to be a mechanic for some reason, and they literally wanted to see me working under the hood of my car. So I had to drag my camera to my car and pop up the hood and, kind of dress like a mechanic and, act like I was changing the oil and checking the fluids and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, more and more, because we have moved into a virtual world and we're not just walking into an empty audition room and sort of miming everything for the casting director, we're actually being asked to do more. So the question is, how much or how little do you do? So I want to give you some general guidelines. And again, it's going to depend from audition to audition exactly how much specificity you need to go into, but I want to give you some basic guidelines. So for example, if it is a scene where there is some sort of fight, like a fist fight, or somebody gets shoved or somebody gets punched, I'm not suggesting that you have your reader punch you or push you or anything like that. But what you can do is you can kind of suggest the action, for example, oh, somebody slapped you, right? Or, somebody shoved you. And so you can do sort of a micro movement to suggest that something like that has happened and let your reaction to the physical assault, we'll say, be the thing that sort of ignites the moment. It's not so much about going full out with the action and like dropping to the ground and, getting an ice pack and all those sorts of things, as much as it is suggesting the action. Another thing could be, say you're doing a golf swing or something, you don't necessarily need to, go out to the driving range and, hit a bucket of balls, but, you could, just come back, from the swing or something like that. Something to suggest what you've been engaged in rather than do it full out. One time I had an audition where I was escaping from a kidnapper and I was supposed to climb out the window. Well, I'm not going to climb out the window because I live on the second floor and that could be really dangerous and I don't want to break my leg. But I was able to climb up a chair and kind of look back where the guy would have been and look concerned and stealthy and all those kinds of things. As I pretended to climb out the window, I didn't actually climb anywhere. I just climbed up this chair, and that was plenty. That was plenty. That was all that was needed for the scene. I will say that when I have seen breakdowns come through for some sort of horror reenactment, not like in a horror movie, but a reenactment of like The Haunting or something, they do want the actors to go full out. And again, that's a really specific, different audition. They might have them run, they might have them cower in a corner. They want them to react to every, single sound or prompt that they receive, because that is that particular type of audition. Other times, you may be asked to almost film the commercial itself. I know when COVID first hit and they were asking people to film in their actual homes, they wanted to see what did your kitchen look like? What did your living room look like? What did your closet look like? And that's a little bit of an interesting turn because it's a little more invasive than we're used to. People are actually in our homes and we might be filming ourselves in that environment, and so that, for all the world to see in the actual commercial. That's happening less now, but something like that was happening quite a bit when COVID first happened, and we were being very cautious and no one wanted to go to set. So anyway, I hope that is helpful. Just remember, ultimately at the end of the day, it is more about the acting. They want to see you engaged in the world and the life of the character. If it's an exchange with someone else, they want to understand the nature of the relationship and what your need is and what you're trying to get from the other person, sorry. And so the action is sort of secondary to that, it can prompt and move the story forward, absolutely, which is why there are times when we want to suggest that, but we don't want to become so preoccupied with the action and trying to choreograph the physicality of the scene that we forget the most important thing, which is a human being having an experience. Okay, I hope that was helpful to you. And this, by the way, this is for both film work, television work, and commercial work, because we're taping for pretty much everything right now. Same thing with Zoom if you're getting some sort of virtual callback. You can always suggest the movement without having to go full out with the action. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you. Please, if you liked this video, I'd love it if you would put something in the comments so that I would know that it was helpful to you. Please feel free to share this with other people if you think it would be helpful to them. I would love it, love it, love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want all the goodies, I would suggest that you subscribe to my email list, which you can do at my website, sarahgaston.com, because there are things that I share on my email list that I just don't share anywhere else. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. And as always, break a leg out there, my friends.